Hello students, this is Dr. Ranjini, Assistant Professor in Biotechnology. Welcome to e-learning session in cellular metabolism. Today in this session, we learn about the mechanism of fatty acid oxidation. In earlier session, we had a brief introduction about fatty acid oxidation. Today we learn fatty acid oxidation in detail. The fatty acids in the body are oxidized by beta oxidation. Beta oxidation may be defined as the oxidation of fatty acids on the beta carbon atom. So this sequential breaking of the fatty acid chain at every beta carbon atom results in two carbon fragment that is called acetyl CoA. This beta oxidation was identified by Franz Nu, and the mechanism, if you see, the fatty acid oxidation involves three important steps. One is the activation of fatty acids, which takes place in the cytosol. Activation of fatty acid, which takes place in the cytosol. Second step is transport of these fatty acids into the mitochondria. So the second step of the fatty acid oxidation is taking place in the mitochondria. Then the last stage is the breaking of the carbon skeleton of the fatty acid at the beta carbon atom is called beta oxidation, takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. So there are three stages. One is activation of fatty acid, second one is transport of fatty acid, third one is cleavage of the fatty acid carbon skeleton at beta carbon atom called beta oxidation. Now, we'll take up the first step, that is the fatty acid activation, or else it is activation of fatty acid. See here, we have the fatty acid. So this fatty acid will be converted to acyl adenylate. Acyl adenylate in the presence of the enzyme thiokinase. So it will be adenylated. Then this acyl adenylate will be combining with the coenzyme A and it will form acyl CoA. So this step of reaction takes place in the activation of fatty acid. So finally, the fatty acid will be converted into acyl CoA. It will be added with the coenzyme A. So this conversion of fatty acid into acyl CoA is called activation of fatty acid. As such, fatty acids cannot be cleaved into acetyl CoA. First, they have to be activated to their respective acyl CoA. So this takes place in the presence of the enzyme, that is thiokinases, or these enzymes are also called as acyl CoA synthetases. These are also called as acyl CoA synthetases. First, fatty acids are activated to acetyl CoA, as I told earlier, by the enzyme thiokinases. So this reaction takes place in two-stepped reaction, and this requires ATP, and this requires ATP, coenzyme A and Mg2 plus ion. The activation of fatty acid require ATP, Mg2 plus ion and coenzyme A. Fatty acids reacts with ATP. So this fatty acid reacts with ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and this will form fatty acyl adenylate, or else in short form it is acyl adenylate. It is acyl adenylate. Here the carboxylate ion is adenylated. COOH group you have, no? So this COO group of the fatty acid will be adenylated by the ATP to form fatty acyl adenylate. And in ATP, there are three phosphate. So among them, one phosphate will be attached to the carboxylate ion, and the remaining two phosphate will be removed in the form of pyrophosphate, will be removed as pyrophosphate. Now this fatty acyl adenylate, which is enzyme bound. Now, here what will happen? The coenzyme A will come into picture now. So this coenzyme A, that is the thiol group of the coenzyme A, attacks the adenylate, that is acyl adenylate. And here this thiol group of coenzyme A, when it attacks the acyl adenylate, that displaces or removes the adenosine monophosphate, that removes the adenosine monophosphate and forming the thioester fatty acyl CoA is otherwise termed as acyl CoA or fatty acyl CoA. You're following? So you have the fatty acid which reacts with the ATP and it will form the acyl adenylate. Now, this coenzyme A, the thiol group of coenzyme A, attack the acyl adenylate and it removes the AMP, adenosine monophosphate, and results in the formation of acyl CoA. Results in the formation of acyl CoA. So here you can see the acyl CoA which is formed. So this reaction involves the participation of ATP as well as divalent cation, that is Mg2 plus ion. And here in the first reaction, one AMP will be added to the fatty acid to form the acyl adenylate. And this pyrophosphate released will be converted into two inorganic phosphate by the enzyme inorganic pyrophosphatase enzyme. So this pyrophosphate will be converted into two molecules of inorganic phosphate. So this immediate reaction takes place and elimination of pyrophosphate makes this reaction totally irreversible. So this is irreversible reaction which takes place in the presence of acyl CoA synthetases, and this requires ATP, Mg2 plus ion and coenzyme A. And in activation of the fatty acids will be converted into fatty acyl CoA. Fatty acyl CoA. So this reaction is taking place in the cytosol, and here the carboxylate ion of the fatty acid is involved in this reaction. Now, next we'll move on to the next step, that is transport of acyl CoA into the mitochondria. Transport of acyl CoA into the mitochondria. The inner mitochondrial membrane is impermeable to fatty acids. It is impermeable to fatty acid. Here, a special type of carrier system will be operated to transport these activated fatty acids from the cytosol into the mitochondrial. Here, this transport system, that is carrier system, is called carnitine carrier system. Carnitine carrier system. This takes place in four reactions. This takes place in four important steps. Initially, the acyl group of, so here you can see the carnitine. So this will pick up the activated fatty acid and it will pass through the membrane and releases the activated fatty acid into the mitochondria. Here, acyl group of acyl CoA. The acyl group of acyl-CoA. This is coenzyme. This acyl group will be reacting with the carnitine. Acyl group will be reacting with the carnitine group. Here you can see the two parts. One is coenzyme A, that is added by thiol linkage, and the another one is the remaining portion of the fatty acid, that is called acyl group. So you have the two portions. One is coenzyme A portion and another one is fatty acid portion. So that fatty acid portion is nothing but our acyl group. So this acyl group will be added to the carnitine. It will be added to the carnitine in the presence of the enzyme. In the presence of the enzyme, carnitine acyl transferase 1. Carnitine acyl transferase 1. What this enzyme will do? It will take up the acyl group of the fatty acid and it will be transferring that into the carnitine to form acyl carnitine. To form acyl carnitine, and coenzyme A will be removed. Coenzyme A will be removed. So that will be removed from the acyl CoA molecule. So this carnitine acyl transferase 1 is present on the outer surface of the, it is present on the outer surface of the inner mitochondrial membrane. It is present towards the outer surface of the inner mitochondrial membrane. So this enzyme transfers the acyl group into the carnitine and it will form acyl carnitine, and this coenzyme A will be removed from the molecule, that is acyl CoA. Now, in the second step, this acyl carnitine is transferred into the mitochondrial matrix. It will be transferred into the mitochondrial matrix by a carrier protein. By a carrier protein. So this carrier protein picks up this acyl carnitine and that will transfer or transport into the mitochondrial matrix. Again, acyl carnitine will be released here in the mitochondrial matrix. Now, in the third step of the reaction, this acyl carnitine will again combine with, so this acyl carnitine will be there in the, found in the inner surface of the inner mitochondrial membrane. Here it will combine with the coenzyme A and it will be forming the acyl CoA again in the presence of the enzyme, that is carnitine acyl transferase 2. So you should remember the difference here. One is carnitine acyl transferase 1, which will remove the CoA group, whereas the acyl transferase 2, that is carnitine acyl transferase 2, which is towards the inner surface of the inner mitochondrial membrane or the mitochondrial matrix. What it will do? It will add this coenzyme A to the acyl carnitine to form the acyl CoA. To form the acyl CoA. Now, carnitine will be released. So, this is the third reaction. The first one is conversion of acyl CoA to acyl carnitine. Then second step is transfer across the inner mitochondrial membrane to mitochondrial matrix. Now this acyl carnitine will combine with coenzyme A and it will form acyl CoA again in the presence of the enzyme carnitine acyl transferase 2. After forming this acyl carnitine to acyl CoA, now carnitine is released. The released carnitine returns to the cytosol. It will come back again to pick up another molecule of acyl CoA for reuse. So this carnitine will be transferring or it will be passing through the inner mitochondrial membrane in order to pick up the fresh molecule of acyl CoA. Here you should remember that the coenzyme A used for the activation is different from one that finally combines with the fatty acid. So initially it requires activation, for that coenzyme A will be added. But for the transportation, it will be removed by the transferase 1. Later, by transferase 2 enzyme, the fresh molecule of coenzyme A will be added. Thus, the cell has two separate pools of coenzyme A. One in the mitochondrial matrix, another towards the outer surface of the in the mitochondrial membrane. That is, one is cytosolic and another one is mitochondrial pool of coenzyme A is present. So this is regarding transportation of the acyl-CoA into the mitochondria. But inhibitors of carnitine shuttle. So this transfer of the acyl-CoA into the mitochondrial matrix is by the carrier protein as well as the carnitine. This carnitine shuttle is inhibited by malonyl-CoA. It's a key metabolite involved in fatty acid synthesis that occurs in cytosol. So fatty acid synthesis takes place in the cytosol. Fatty acid degradation takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. Here, the important metabolite of the fatty acid synthesis, that is malonyl CoA, this will inhibit the carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme. That means when there is the synthesis of fatty acid is taking place in the cytosol, oxidation of fatty acid will not take place in the mitochondrial matrix. Otherwise, this carnitine shuttle will be impaired. So if fatty acid synthesis is taking place, then there is no fatty acid oxidation. If the fatty acid synthesis is not taking place, then we can expect the cell to take up the oxidation of fatty acid. You understood? Next, we will move on to the third step of the fatty acid oxidation, that is called the beta oxidation. Here, each cycle of beta oxidation liberates two carbon compound, that is acetyl-CoA. So this removal of the acetyl-CoA acquires in, or it takes place in a series of reaction until it completely oxidizes the fatty acid. And this sequence of reaction depends on the number of carbon atom present in the even chain fatty acid. So it depends on the number of carbon atoms present in the even chain fatty acids. So this beta oxidation, as we know, there is removal of the acetyl-CoA by breaking the carbon skeleton at the beta carbon atom. By breaking the carbon skeleton at the beta carbon atom. Here, so here you can see the stage 1, the activation of fatty acid. Stage 2, that is transport by carnitine shuttle. Then we are there inside the mitochondrial matrix for oxidation of fatty acid, that is acyl-CoA. Here, there are four important steps in beta oxidation. The first step is oxidation. The first step is oxidation. Here, acyl-CoA undergoes dehydrogenation. Acyl-CoA will undergo dehydrogenation by FAD-dependent flavoenzyme. That is dehydrogenase. That is acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, which requires FAD for its activity. That is FAD-dependent acyl-CoA dehydrogenase will oxidize, or there is removal of the hydrogen from the acyl-CoA. Hence it is called as oxidation. Due to the removal of the 2H plus, there is formation of the double bond. There is a formation of the double bond between the carbon atom, alpha and beta carbon atom. Here you can see this is the acyl CoA which has entered inside the mitochondrial matrix in the presence of FAD dependent. It's not NAD dependent. It is flavoenzyme that is FAD dependent acyl CoA dehydrogenase removes the 2H plus and FAD, oxidized FAD will be reduced to form FADH2. Will be reduced to form FADH2. And after removing the 2H plus, there will be formation of the double bond between alpha and beta carbon atom of acyl CoA. And this acyl CoA will be converted into trans-enoyl CoA. It will be converted into trans-enoyl CoA. Trans-enoyl CoA is not having the two hydrogen atoms. Instead, there is double bond between alpha and beta carbon atom. Since there is removal of the 2H plus, this is oxidation of acyl CoA and the stage is called oxidation step of the beta oxidation, which takes place in the presence of FAD dependent acyl CoA dehydrogenase. Acyl CoA dehydrogenase. And acyl CoA will be converted into trans-enoyl CoA. Now, this FADH2, which is formed in the first reaction of the beta oxidation, we know the one molecule of FADH2 releases two molecules of ATP in the electron transport chain. So 2 ATP will be generated. Now this trans-enoyl CoA in the second step, so second step is called as hydration. Here the important enzyme enoyl CoA hydratase brings about the hydration of the double bond, double bond to form beta hydroxy acyl CoA, to form beta hydroxy acyl CoA. In the second step, there is addition of water and this stage is called hydration, and this will add the hydration will be done on the double bond. So here CH, OH will be formed and double bond will be removed. So the product is beta hydroxy acyl CoA. Where you find this hydroxyl group? It is on the beta carbon atom. Hydroxyl group is attached to the beta carbon atom. Hence it is called beta hydroxy acyl CoA. Beta hydroxy acyl CoA. So since there is utilization of water and hydration, it is called hydration step of the beta oxidation, which takes place in the presence of the enzyme enoyl CoA hydratase. Now, this beta hydroxy acyl CoA in the presence of NAD dependent dehydrogenase, will convert this beta hydroxy acyl CoA into keto acyl CoA, There is removal of the 2H plus at the beta carbon atom. Here you can see CHOH. Now it will be converted into C double bond O. It will be converted into C double bond O. So the 2H plus, that is CH, the one H from the CH, the another H from the hydroxyl group will be removed, and those two hydrogen will be reducing the oxidized form of NAD to NADH2. So NAD will be reduced to NADH2 and there is formation of the double bond between the C and O. So that CO group we call it as the keto group, and this reaction is taking place on the beta carbon atom, hence it is called beta keto acyl CoA in the presence of the enzyme dehydrogenase. In the presence of the enzyme dehydrogenase, the removed 2H plus will reduce the NAD to NADH2. Now this reduced power NADH2, energy rich molecule, when it enters the electron transport chain, it releases 3 ATP molecule. It releases 3 ATP molecule. So the first step is oxidation. There is removal of the 2H plus. The second step is hydration. There is addition of the water molecule and addition of OH group at the beta carbon atom. And third step is also oxidation. Third step is also oxidation. But the difference between the first oxidation and third oxidation is the third step oxidation is this one is flavoprotein dependent and this one is NAD dependent. Now this ketoacyl CoA, now this ketoacyl CoA will enter the final step reaction of the beta oxidation. Here there is cleavage of the beta ketoacyl CoA takes place in the presence of the enzyme thiolase, in the presence of the enzyme thiolase, and this will cleave the ketoacyl CoA to form CH3COSCOA, CH3COSCOA by utilizing the coenzyme A, fresh molecule of coenzyme A. It will form again acyl CoA, but here after removing the acetyl CoA, which is 2 carbon atom, this acyl CoA, the initial carbon atom number will be reduced to 2 carbon atoms will be reduced because there is removal of the acetyl CoA. So this occurs by a thiolytic cleavage, and this takes place by the enzyme beta ketoacyl CoA thiolase enzyme. And now this acetyl CoA enters the Krebs cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, and acetyl CoA will be converted into carbon dioxide. But the remaining acyl CoA having the 2 carbon atoms lesser than the initial acyl CoA will again enter, or it will pass through the again 4 reaction, that is first oxidation, second step of hydration, third oxidation, and fourth step of cleavage, and results in the molecule of another molecule of acetyl CoA. Like this, each reaction will continue till the last 2 carbon atoms are remaining in the fatty acid, and finally there will be conversion of any even chain fatty acid into acetyl CoA. So here, if you take the example of the palmitate, if you take the example of palmitic acid, so this is saturated fatty acid having the it's a saturated fatty acid having even number of carbon atom. So this fatty acid will be converted into 8 molecules of acetyl CoA. 8 molecules of acetyl CoA. 8 molecules of acetyl CoA means it is 2 carbon. 8 into 2, it is 16 carbon containing fatty acid. So that is our palmitic acid will undergo 7 times the beta oxidation, 7 times the beta oxidation, and in each reaction it removes the 1 molecule of acetyl CoA, but at the end, the last beta oxidation, it releases 2 molecules of acetyl CoA. One will be acetyl CoA will be removed, and the remaining carbon skeleton will be having the 2 carbon. So palmitate, if you take, it will undergo 7 times the beta oxidation and releases 8 molecules of 2 carbon acetyl CoA. 8 molecules of 2 carbon acetyl CoA because it is having 16 carbon in its carbon skeleton. So this is how the beta oxidation takes place. There are 4 important steps. One is oxidation, then hydration, oxidation, then fourth one is cleavage, which takes place in the presence of thiolase. And this reaction will take place 7 times and releases 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA. So this is regarding the oxidation of fatty acid, fatty acids, even chain fatty acid, even chain saturated fatty acids. Oxidation takes place in the mitochondrial matrix, but before undergoing oxidation, fatty acids has to be activated to form the acyl CoA group. Then it will pass through the mitochondrial membrane and reaches the inner surface of the inner or it reaches the mitochondrial matrix. There, the oxidation of the fatty acid takes place. And this oxidation is by the beta oxidation, by removal of one molecule of acetyl CoA in each pass of the beta oxidation. And finally, the whole carbon skeleton of the fatty acid, even chain fatty acids, will be converted into acetyl CoA. This acetyl CoA later enters the Krebs cycle and will be converted into carbon dioxide. I hope you understood this session. Thank you.